Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of Supreme Ruler 2020 as Vietnam. I know it's been a slight while I suppose after the last episode, and it's right as it is now January 14th, 2024. And of course, as I'm sure you may have noticed, our economy is no longer, well, the highest as the second closest. Yeah, we're no longer the top, I should actually say. So unfortunately, India is now the richest nation, whereas in the other department, the Northwest Territory still is the top of the GDP, and I'm sure the highest inflation, at least that's how I think. Population-wise, we're still at the top by a bare marginal of uh, 30 million people difference in population-wise. So we're no longer the richest, but that's fine. Unfortunately, I will have to check the mention of, about, I think, two nations that are now gone. One is, of course, Ethiopia, now completely divided by Somalia, Eritrea, and Sudan, and oh yeah, but I forgot about Kenya as well. With this nation, I think, got a small territory, or am I wrong in that department? Oh yeah, yeah, they do get a slight territory. As for the other nation is, I, well, actually, I think I made a mistake in it. No, yeah, I think I may have mistaken a certain nation from a different video, so my bad. But as you can see, Moscow is still alive. I don't know how. We do still have a cost ability, but why bother a war? Oh, that's on the other, almost on the other side of the world. There's no point of that. India, we could declare war if we wanted, but one problem? No, cost ability is only 30%. On the other hand, for whatever reason, Korea has 100% justification for war. But due to the AI and the way this game is made, they won't break the alliance, but still, it's a bit worrying that they actually do have a possibility for potential declaration of war if we were not allied. Not sure why, but as also you can see, the UN subsidy rating has dropped to 46%. That's because I kind of made a mistake of decreasing social spending way too much. Now I gotta kind of raise it back up. Not now, although maybe raise it to 8.4 now. Taxes is now a bit mixed. As you can see, high income and corporate taxes are 25-ish percent. Small business and the low income is about 19%. Sales taxes 18.4, unemployment 2.6, property tax 2.5, and finally the pension tax being 2.6 as well. And of course, one of the things that our unemployment has raised a lot to 4.1 now. Inflation's dropped a lot now as well, but the balancing is still going to be a bit problematic, as I have left the AI try to deal with the inflation control along with decreasing domestic prices as much as we could, just so we can get the treasury back up. Approval rate's gone down, but so what? Oh, and I did reduce military salaries and maintenance along with research, where I've reduced the efficiency to 25%. Technology level is still not going to change at all. Also, we have begun researching a lot of stuff, including nuclear production. Hopefully, once that's finished someday, we might start on the nuclear warheads. And what else? Well, that's about it. But also start researching the high-yield warheads, which I'm sure many nations will not be happy about the fact that we're producing nuclear weapons. But so what? As for production, agriculture is high, same with water, timber, petrol, coal, and the others. Uranium, of course, is becoming an instant problem due to the added nuclear power plants that are spread out. So the demand has unfortunately gone way more than I would have liked. power has dropped somewhat considerably due to the hydro dams I've been building. The only nuclear power plants, there are none being built right now. However, I may have to make a decision soon to start building something. I'm not going to use petrol or coal for power, though it is slightly tempting based on initially the amount of power we can produce, but I'm not going to bother that. Also, the long delay of replacing each half of the coal power plants, so that I could just replace with somewhat cleaner energy. If we had much more amount of uranium deposits, then I would probably replace those with nuclear power plants, but since we don't, and we used up every area to mine, I just gotta use some, the windmills or whatnot of other power sources. So, unfortunately, it's a bit of a search to find these places that I kind of forgot, and I just got a message from Sri Lanka. Why not, since our... Oh, I forgot to check about the consumer goods, industrial goods, but also military goods, as we now have a massive stock now. It was around 3 million in tons, but I decided to give that to a random nation that I just completely forgot who. Oh well. Now back to power. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't quite remember where most of these former coal power plants, I suppose, to replace half of them. Most I could just build one, like here, and then come back to replace two more, I guess. Others, well, it's a little confusing at times. Oh, and I did start building some additional consumer goods and industrial goods, military goods, just one for now. Back to here again. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little annoying to find places, or I could just build them in the cities, which I'll do as a temporary solution until I could figure out where those other places are. Probably in another time skip, I guess. That'll take a while though. So that's one thing to check. Military production. Well, the naval fabrications here are finally finished, and did I show this in previous episodes? I don't know. But I have begun building some frigates, but also getting some new designs, such as the Russian Akula class submarines, which is what I'm going to produce as much as I can. Other ships include, well, by other designs, I also include the Kirov class. Well, it says destroyer cruiser, but real life it's, what was it again? A battle cruiser, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a battle cruiser. So we're gonna have 3 battleships and currently one. Wait, one. No, that's not it. No, that's a Kara. Where is it? Oh wait a minute. That's the Orion 144. Let's see. Oh wait, put them in queues. Duh. Let's see. Where are they? So we have 3 battleships that are, well, already deployed and standing by. And I don't. Okay, I don't think I actually started building any, or did I make a mistake again? There's nothing I can do about that. Missile production, same as always, just massive stockpile anyway. Aircraft, a few are almost done, mostly of other bombers and fighters and such. So that's one thing. Military production, I'm not producing anymore, as it's starting to get a little expensive to maintain an army right now, and this is currently enough at the moment. All the T-90s, T-80s, and all these other units. So that's just fine for now. Although I could increase the salary just a bit, but, well, 85 million is fine. Maintenance and training, that's currently annoying, so increase that back to $1,067 million at least. And our economy's really beginning to recover now. even though the people are not quite happy with our decisions. So we gotta check. We're once more at the top, strangely, compared to India, whose economy just dropped. Hopefully we might be able to maintain the treasury at the very least, but domestic approval, that's enough. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. Yeah, all the satellites I've been able to build and launch, currently 7 with about 65% coverage of the whole planet. I could build another one, but that's gonna be on hold for now. So total 7 communication satellites with only 1 reconnaissance. Missile defense, that's gonna take a while to even research any, and that's problematic. Though, even though I have also been kind of buying some tech from other nations, one of which includes high-speed railways. That's one thing. Others, just a few random things, including selling some of my research to other nations that actually do have the money in their treasury. Indonesia, Thailand, Pakistan, Turkey, Australia, those kind of nations. Korea, after seeing this, I decided, forget it. I don't know why I don't know why they don't like us for some reason, but if that's what they are, if that's what they feel, that's fine by me. Now, strangely, India, of course, as I've shown so many times already, we don't have a causality to declare war, even though they are attacking Bangladesh, and Pakistan were not allies. Relations are not quite good due to the long ago war, or a pointless one at that. But I will try and see if we can try and get our relations improved a little bit, so alright, that's one thing. Cambodia, relations are still pretty good. They don't have a causality, unfortunately, despite their own suspicions of us sabotaging everything. So that's one thing to work. And, alright. Speaking of Korea, take a look at this. Yikes, that's quite a large army they have, especially the numerous K2 tanks. Now, I have played some on in my free time, played as any other nations to try and deal with Korea's military. Of course, I meant the aforementioned North Korean one-shot campaign I did a while ago. I don't know if I should continue that, but I'm still not sure anyway. Now, what do you want? Blah blah blah. Okay, that's surprisingly generous, so accept. But I can say for certain that the Koreans' K2s are surprisingly powerful when used right, and when they have the military supply lines, so to speak. So that's kind of one thing. Taiwan, on the other hand, is getting way too crowded, especially with all the amount of planes that are at Taipei. It's quite a lot. The same thing for Japan, that has a massive army, air force, and navy. I'm not so sure. It does look somewhat large, but not by much. Of course, some of our allies' economies are crap right now. Eastern Siberia, Central Siberia, Kazakhstan is surprisingly still strong, economically at least. Everybody else somewhat tiny. Even this nation and Tibet are still strong. Mongolia as well. Volgograd, not so much. And we did have the annoyance of the treaty with... Wait, where is St. Petersburg? Their economy is non-existent, unfortunately. So I guess I better try and help. But what do they need? Coal, petrol? No. Freshwater, agriculture. We do have a lot of agriculture, so probably try and feed their people, I guess. Water. I suppose it. Pretty annoying that you cannot type out the amount. Like in my case, I would like to give maybe 200 or 300 something tons of water. But I guess this will do. It's kind of steep in the amount, but might as well just help him out. Timber, Timber, I'm not so sure about this one. Perhaps not that much. Not that much. Perhaps weekly of... That's a little too high. That's way too high. I'll do that. And they don't need to pay us anything because we have plenty of stuff. Oh! But I could give them at least monthly of amount of petrol or fuel they would need. About... yeah, 2 months for now. So, I will have to balance things out a bit. Yep, that'll do. There we go. Payments overdue by us, that's understandable. Their economy is shrinking, or much deeper recession, bankruptcy, or depression. Uzbekistan, 7 days of $50 million, was requesting 7 days of military goods. For what? Well, then again, their military is probably large. Yep, every nation has a rather impressive military. The war between Iran, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia is still going on, with neither side even delivering the killing blow, I suppose you could say. Especially Kuwait, who are, well, briefly bankrupt, but they have recovered briefly. As for others, Congo Democratic Republic, Gabon is bankrupt. Everybody else, not a whole lot. As for North America, well, California is still bankrupt. Texas is strong. Arizona is somewhat strong, but Mexico is still able to hold out. But they are not going to push back the tide, unfortunately. As for other parts of the world, well, North America, I mean, most of these nations, especially Missouri, are bankrupt. Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia. Who else? Maryland. DC itself is still fine. Let's say New Jersey, nope. Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, bankrupt again. Vermont, on the verge, it seems. New Hampshire, Maine, nope. New Brunswick. Wait, who's this? Oh, right. Mississippi is at war with... Wait, who are they at war with? New Brunswick? Yes, they are. So they somehow got a navy to go all the way up here. Interesting. Nova Scotia pay and not much there. Quebec's bankrupt. Who else? Well, I better check this will be much easier, I guess. All the way down. Yikes. Okay, the most in the deepest depression is the Western Urals, Scotland, Central Siberia. Okay. It's not looking good for some of these nations. Oh yeah, Japan is bankrupt as well. What do they need anyway? Oh. Well, I suppose I could help them a little bit, sending them consumer goods and industrial. 133 tons may not be enough, but it'll do. Military goods? Yeah, it's kind of dropped a lot now. That's fine. Remove that, do that, and just offer them all that. So, our military supplies has dropped once more. As I think I actually gave way too many to somebody. Who exactly, I don't remember. So that's one. Other mistake on my part. South America? No progress. Argentina and Paraguay, even Uruguay has not made any additional progress into Brazil. That's pretty much it. Oh, and Must forget about Hawaii, who are still economically, well, okay, I guess. But they too diplomatically indifferent, but the people are disapproving. Why? I don't know. Probably because of what happened with the social spending crash, I guess. So that's one annoyance. Subsidy rating is 45%. Still dropping. Still dropping. Approval integrity is okay. Subsidy rating, that's currently a problem. So, I don't know. May need to just do a slight balancing act of try and get things a little bit balanced, just a bit. Sales tax seems to be a bit way too much. I have to reduce that as much as I can, just so the people could be at least happy. That'll do for now. Treasury might a bit. Might get hit a little bit, but that's good for now. Let's see, is that gonna have... Yep, Treasury's gone down, but the people are now slightly happy. And that's pretty much one thing to think about. It's always the economy to worry. Unemployment's 4.3, inflation's now 5.8, reduced a lot now. But don't want to go too low though. I'll probably remove him from ever doing the inflation control thing, and just let the inflation slightly go up, but then if it gets too high, I'll reactivate it. So that's one thing to do. Now, what else? Our spies are still the same. Operations are the usual. Military salaries are still fine, actually. Surprising. Now, for the summary. Production, deployed, reserves. For the Army, over 1,400 reserve, only 7 deployed. Air Force, Navy, and of course the missiles. Okay, there's still a few options, such as anti-ship attacks, ground attacks, saturations. Buildings, that's... that's never something I'm never gonna activate. Global rules of engagement, everything's just as they are, including regular approach to capture enemy land, that's one thing. We'll accept auto-deploy missiles, that's another. Opportunity fire, attack any enemy, and of course the defense minister's orders. However, contact options if in case of war, usually for me it's usually to just engage as soon as you can. And of course be well, just normal. In our route, whatever. Speed, normal. Initiative, somewhat depends. Loss tolerance, I'll accept medium losses at the moment. So that's kind of what to do. Okay, some of our tanks are almost done. Aircraft, mostly planes are still not finished, or even the helis. Well, the Heinz that managed to buy from another nation other than Moscow. Ship productions is still going to be a bit slow. The submarines are being built nicely though. Power demand. Okay, all the hydro dams I've been building are finally finished. Took a long while. But they are expensive to build though. Alright, Japan, alright. I'll give you a large lump. Just so we can give you a head start. Same with industrial goods, since we have a lot. I'll go with... I'll be nice to go to 1 million for now. Because we can easily recover that. Now, speaking of trade, who else? Hong Kong, if I take a look at... Okay, this is the usual aid from the UN. We are giving them... that I've done off camera during the time skip, 41 weeks both of industrial and agricultural goods. Just so they can not have to deal with an economic depression, though they do have an impressive navy though. Actually, wait. Actually, their navy's growing a bit too large, actually. After all, they do have plenty of ships that are down here. And who are these? Malaysian and Taiwanese ships. Right. Now, who else could I check to see if I can trade? Well, the Philippines, they're okay. At least they looks like they're okay. Uranium deposits are stockpile right now. Oh, agriculture. Plenty of water, plenty of timber. Petrol is plenty. But in agriculture, I have been giving way too much to several of my allies, so to speak. But I'll just give them this amount of agriculture. It's only $12 million, though. Let's see. I'll go with just 11 million for 30 days. It's not really much. And ask to see if I can give them advanced composites. So that'll be one thing to do. To ask. Greater Malaysia. We still have a strong alliance. They have some interesting technologies at least. Yeah, everything else for them is still fine. Same with Indonesia, perhaps? Somewhat. Agriculture right now, freshwater, timber is one thing. I guess I could help them out just a little bit. Just give weekly of probably this much amount of timber, I guess. How much is that? 7 million. And a treasury? Yeah, okay, it's strong, I guess. Let's see if I can try and get either, well, 5 or even... Okay, that's too high. Oh, you know what, I'll just ask for 5 million. Now that I'll give them advanced composites. Everybody seems to want the advanced composites, it seems. So though, the Philippines will give us $11.68 million for 30 days, about a month. Indonesia, will they be able to accept for the weekly trade? Or just have to wait. Sri Lanka is still fine. They're not economically going to collapse despite India's blockade. Although I don't understand what exactly they're doing. Oh, right, trying to do a crossing, but it's not going to work. Hey? I just... Okay, they accept that, but suddenly offering this, so... That's also acceptable. Okay, that's a bit Okay, that's actually a bit surprising. So now they're gonna give 2 different days of money. Wait, I thought I put that on never mind. Nothing about that. Do about that. Everything else is still fine as well. Treasury's gone back down. Let's see. Social spending is fine. Taxes are also fine as well. I will not be getting bonds, although the amount of bonds the amount to get a bond has dropped significantly. Income summary. It's fine. Expense, the most expensive is right now the production lines for our military. Trade summary. The top is the military goods, but the bottom is of course uranium and, not surprisingly, electrical power. There's nothing to do about that. Well, the uranium problem. Oh? I'll accept. Everybody's surprisingly generous. Despite our subsidy rating that's dropped even further. Economy's dropped a bit, but I'm sure it'll probably recover eventually in the next time skip, probably a month or 2 later, I guess. As for subsidy rating, it's a steady 45% now. Nothing I can do about that. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next time skip. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. About the battleships that I've, uh, built and are reserved that are in, well, Yangon, and the one near Haiphong, as well as the one in Shanghai. 3 battleships, but this is something I've been wondering if the option was available, or if somehow it is, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it isn't. What exactly should these mighty warships be named anyway? They, of course, have to be a Vietnamese name, of course, so anybody who knows their Vietnamese history, or even understand how exactly Vietnam names their ships of each class, please let me know of potential names that might be possible, that might fit the battleships at least. Of course, they don't have to be in any order. It could be any of the names you want, no matter where they are. But just give me some interesting names. And like I said, they have to be Vietnamese, of course. Not sure about the Kirovs though, but what can you do? So yeah, that's just 2 things, of course. Let me know what names the 3 current Vietnamese battleships, Iowa class, could be, and hope you enjoyed this. So see you again in the after the next time skip. So see you then.